The entire family met with disaster, and mother abandoned us to seek spiritual purification at the temple. On the road to find mother, captured by a cavalry unit, heavy snow sealed the mountains, leaving no hope for rescue, until a familiar voice came from the carriage heavily guarded by cavalry. Hurry and clear these troublesome riffraff from the road. Don't keep Pinglang waiting. It's mother, mother. Can't she hear our cries for help? I lay on the ground, my body gradually losing warmth. My lips still murmured, spare us, noble one, we meant no offense. Elder sister remained numb as the cavalryman took turns upon her, until she coughed up blood. Younger sister refused to crawl on the ground like a dog. In her struggle, she threw herself upon a soldier's blade, her eyes defiant even in death. The snowstorm grew heavier, and the noble figure in the carriage finally spoke. Enough. My increasingly unfocused gaze sharpened once more. That voice, it's mother, mother. I tried my best to raise my voice, but it was instantly scattered by the wind and snow. The carriage curtain lifted slightly, revealing a familiar half-face in my line of sight. The journey to Jingju is long. Once you've had your fun, quickly clear away these road-blocking riffraff. Don't keep Pinglang waiting. The leading officer acknowledged the order. Yes, Madam Ju. I watched the carriage with its curtains drawn, my heart filled with confusion. After handling father's funeral, we headed south to find mother. Just as we reached the foot of Qingshan Temple, we encountered this cavalry escorting a noble. Because eldest sister was beautiful, we were met with this sudden disaster. Before the conflict with the cavalry erupted, we three sisters pleaded loudly for mercy, hoping the noble would take pity on our desperate longing to find our mother. We didn't know the person sitting in that carriage was mother, but how could mother not recognize our voices? Hello, everyone. Welcome to my channel. Subscribe us to read wonderful novels every day. Now the story begins. The general ordered the cavalry to throw us into the mountain ravine. As he passed by me, he spat viciously. Pa, a discarded woman dares to order me around just because she helped the prince eliminate Zhu Yunjie. Does she really think she can become empress? Zhu Yunjie is my father. Father is the commander of the Imperial Guards. How could he possibly poison the emperor's meals? This is nothing short of digging his own grave. Father died in prison, yet mother neither collected his remains nor buried him. Instead, she confiscated all our family possessions and left to practice asceticism at the distant Green Mountain Temple. So that's how it is. Everything became clear. My eyelids grew heavier, but my heart refused to close. When I opened my eyes again, my eldest sister, myself, and my younger sister were kneeling in the courtyard of our family's Buddhist shrine. We were weeping and pleading with mother on the steps to seek justice for father. Mother holds the title of second-rank lady and may enter the palace to see the emperor. Her gaze fell upon us, cold and indifferent. Zhu Yunjie has strayed from the right path. I have severed all ties with such a treasonous villain. You are his flesh and blood, born of greed and ambition. I am not your mother. Do not presume to claim kinship here. In our past life, we never understood why mother suddenly changed her demeanor. Now, three pairs of eyes filled with hatred meet in confrontation. The eldest sister rises, her frost-reddened fingers trembling as she brushes the snowflakes off the sable fur. Since you've severed all ties with father, you can no longer stay in the commander's residence. The younger sister wiped her swollen eyes from crying before her rebirth. All these years, your food, clothing, and expenses in the mansion were paid by father's salary. We must cut ties completely, not taking a single thread with us. Mother stared at the stark contrast in our behavior, paused for a moment, then sneered. Fine, so your tearful pleas were fake. Forcing me to abandon everything in the mansion was your real goal. All these years of doting on you were wasted on ungrateful wretches. After years of devout Buddhist practice, I disdain such worldly possessions. Zhu Yunjie poisoned his majesty and is a traitor to Darong. I will confiscate everything in the estate to make some amends for the crimes he committed. I brushed off the water stains on my knees and drew the dagger my father had given me from my waist. The emperor didn't confiscate our family's property, nor did he blame us. Why are you in such a hurry to seize it? I hinted pointedly. For the imperial court, is it? Mother, flushed with anger, snapped. Zhu Wanyin. If these words of yours reach the emperor's ears, none of us will leave the capital alive. Eldest sister, her eyes red, asked pointedly, you want to leave the capital? None of us have forgotten the scenes from our past lives. Mother, caught off guard by eldest sister's remark, stiffened her neck and declared, "Your father is already dead. I intend to devote myself to Buddha, seeking solace in ascetic practice at Qingshan Temple, in our past life." We truly believed our mother had gone into ascetic practice. In reality, she was shedding her identity as the Forbidden Army commander's wife to secretly rendezvous with her young lover. Our youngest sister, wise beyond her years, composed herself and said, "Father poisoned the emperor. By law this warrants execution of 9 generations. Yet when father died suddenly in prison, the emperor didn't exterminate our entire Jew family. There must be hidden circumstances." My elder sister and I nodded simultaneously in agreement. "If you insist on confiscating the family property, we'll go find Chief Minister Gu to take us for an audience with the emperor and settle this matter before His Majesty." Mother sneered, "With the Jew family's current state, do you really think you can still gain access to Chief Minister Gu?" Mother was right. "Nowadays, everyone avoids the Jew family like the plague," little sister said calmly. Chief Minister Gu's eldest son is betrothed to eldest sister. Whether out of consideration for his future daughter-in-law or to seize this opportunity to break off the engagement while our family is in trouble, I doubt Chief Minister Gu would refuse us. I gazed at my younger sister shining like a bright pearl. Turns out her bookishness hadn't dulled her wits. The eldest sister was delicate and pampered, spending her days admiring flowers, sipping tea, dancing, and playing the zither. Even insisting her future husband must be handsome, the youngest sister was proud and ambitious. Dreaming big at such a tender age, she aspired to become a female scholar. As for me, utterly ordinary, I followed father in wielding swords and spears, hoping only to become a wandering knight someday. The relationship between us 3 sisters wasn't particularly good. I looked down on our eldest sister's superficial affectations. While she despised my boorish lack of manners, I scorned our youngest sister's bookish rigidity, and she in turn disdained my inability to interpret poetry. Similarly, the eldest and youngest sisters couldn't stand each other's ways either. Past and present lives, father's death, finally twisted us into a single rope. Mother pointed at us, trembling all over. "I am the matriarch of the Jew family. The Jew family's affairs are not for you 3 little sluts to decide, little sluts. That reveals your true nature." I let out a cold laugh and whistled sharply. The red jujube horse from the backyard came galloping in. I grabbed Mother's arm and flung her onto the horse's back. "You've severed ties with father, haven't you? What right do you have to play the lady of the house? Let Hongzhao see you out." "Wait." The eldest sister suddenly spoke up. She approached Mother, her delicate hands removing the gold hairpin from Mother's head. Then forcibly took the jade bracelet from Mother's wrist despite her protests. "If you're determined to devote yourself to ascetic practice, these worldly possessions mustn't be taken along to defile the Buddha's sight. In my past life, the family fortune was confiscated by Mother, and I wandered destitute while searching for her in the south. In this life, it's her turn to taste the bitterness we once endured." The horse's hooves shifted slightly, and Mother screamed in panic. Who knows if it was from anger at us or fright from Red Date? I patted Red Date's rump. "Good horse, head north." The jujube whizzed past as Mother's terrified voice echoed from afar. "Qingshan Temple lies to the south." "Yes, Jingju is also to the south. The debt of birth and upbringing forbids matricide. The freezing cold, whether we live or die, is up to heaven to decide." We went to the prison to retrieve father's remains, just like in my past life. Father died with blood streaming from all 7 orifices, a clear sign of poisoning. After handling father's funeral affairs, we 3 sisters set out on the journey south. From the time of our rebirth until now, we've never discussed plans for revenge, because we know each other too well for vengeance. We're capable of any earth-shattering, perilous deed. When roadside weeds began sprouting new shoots, we finally arrived in Jingju after hurrying non-stop. Outside Jingju lies a lotus lake. Lotus flowers typically bloom in summer, yet this lake is extraordinary due to its waters. Shortly after the new year, the entire lake bursts into bloom, with snowflakes tumbling thick and fast upon the lotus leaves and petals, a rare wonder of the mortal world, truly worth beholding. The road to Lotus Lake was fraught with deadly peril. I rode on horseback, my entire figure concealed beneath a cloak, pursuing the disheveled woman ahead. Her red dress blazed vividly against the snow. But what truly held the gaze was the terror on her face, a face that bore 70% resemblance to Mother's as death loomed near, truly pitiable enough to move even the Prince of Ping. I raised my arrow and aimed it straight at my eldest sister's heart. Stop! An angry shout came from the carriage ahead. My eldest sister's terrified cry and the sound of the arrow cutting through the air rang out simultaneously. Save me! As the arrow from my hand pierced eldest sister's chest. I snorted coldly, turned my horse around, and deliberately lowered my voice. No one can save those marked for death by the Red Lotus Tower. This step was fraught with peril, though I had deliberately aimed half an inch off target. If Prince Ping refused to save eldest sister, she would surely die. I circled several mountain ridges to shake off the pursuers. Late at night, I met up with my younger sister, second sister. All the physicians in Jingju City went to Prince Ping's residence this afternoon. Eldest sister was personally carried off the carriage by Prince Ping himself. I nodded. Now we just have to wait. This is a matter of life and death. Let's hope eldest sister doesn't throw one of her delicate tantrums while half conscious. The eldest sister couldn't bear hardship. Back in the mansion, if a rose thorn pricked her finger, she'd make sure the whole household knew about it. Yet now, for the sake of revenge, she willingly risks her life. Half a month later, word spread from the Ping Manor that the rescued orphan girl was unharmed. I donned my night attire and launched a nocturnal assault on the Ping Manor. Just as I climbed over the wall, I spotted a rose vine. The rose was the secret signal between my elder sister and me. If she remained in favor, she would have rose bushes planted at the corner of Prince Ping's mansion to guide my way. If she fell out of favor, there would be no roses at the corner. Following the guidance of the rose vines along the path, I successfully arrived at the backyard and found the courtyard filled with blooming roses. The candlelight cast the silhouettes of two people onto the paper window. I crashed through the window. A large net descended from above. The royal guards of Prince Ping emerged from the shadows, pressing their blades against my neck. I was dragged before a middle-aged man who was feeding medicine to my eldest sister. With just one glance, I knew this imposing figure before me was none other than Prince Ping. He was the one who made mother kill father. King Ping appeared quite pleased. "You are, just as you predicted. The assassins from the Red Lotus Tower really came after we spread the news of your safety. This king will now eliminate your troubles once and for all." As he finished speaking, the blade pressed against my neck moved slightly. Eldest sister urgently cried out, "Wait, Your Highness. Keeping this man alive would be more useful than killing him." "Oh," Prince Ping grew intrigued. "Does my sweet Yua not wish for revenge?" The eldest sister nestled into Prince Ping's arms and cooed, "Of course I do. But what I desire more is to be of service to Your Highness. I know of Your Highness's great talents and ambitions. Though this man slaughtered my entire family and I naturally loathe him, the Red Lotus Tower is a Jianghu organization specializing in dirty deeds like murder and plunder. As Your Highness holds such an exalted position, there will always be matters best handled by others. The meaning is self-evident. I could become Prince Ping's hidden blade." Prince Ping's eyes lit up as he playfully pinched eldest sister's chin. "Yua, you're truly my sweet talking flower. I didn't save you in vain." Eldest sister cooed flirtatiously. "This humble concubine is thrice blessed to have been saved by Your Highness. Naturally, I must exert every ounce of my being to repay Your Highness's kindness." I turned my face away, out of sight, out of mind. The eldest sister took out a box from under the pillow. "This is the 7-poison pill I specially had the physician concoct. After taking it, you must consume an antidote every 7 days." Prince Ping's eyes gleamed brightly. "With you alone, the plans I've laid will surely succeed," I shouted angrily. "To think I would fall into the hands of a vile, venomous wretch like you. This tower master would rather die than yield." The elder sister let out a cold laugh and drew the dagger she had prepared long ago. Gripping my chin, she said icily, "Then let this humble one see just how hard your bones are." She slashed the dagger across my face with a vicious force, and blood gushed out like a fountain. I broke down in tears, sobbing, "My face, my face." Disfigurement was something my eldest sister and I had discussed together. Though I lack my eldest sister's beauty, there's still some resemblance in our eyes. The Prince of Ping is suspicious by nature. He'll surely grow doubtful in time. I shot her with an arrow. She slashed my face with a blade. There are many ways to dispel the Prince of Ping's doubts, but ruining a woman's beauty is the most direct and effective. The eldest sister took the opportunity to shove the 7 poisons pill into my mouth. If you don't submit to the prince, I'll slice the flesh from your face piece by piece. Prince Ping greatly approved of the eldest sister's actions, truly worthy of being this prince's woman, not only clever and cunning, but as ruthless as I am. At last I was terrified, trembling as I prostrated myself on the ground. The ice and snow melted as the weather gradually warmed. The first to bloom were the pear blossoms outside Jingju City, yet these pear blossoms were all tainted with blood. After the spring began, the emperor ostensibly sent officials to inspect, while secretly, waves of spies from the capital came one after another. This is the 7th group of people I've killed. Today is also the day to collect the antidote, so I rushed non-stop to Prince Ping's residence. Still, I was a step too late, writhing in agony. I rolled all the way to elder sister's courtyard. Your Highness, and miss you. I beg you for the antidote. The eldest sister and Prince Ping were having their midday meal, while my suffering became a spectacle to amuse them. The eldest sister kicked me in the chest. A few days ago, you actually let one of those scouts escape, and you still have the nerve to come begging for the antidote, I replied with a trembling voice. The one who escaped has been dealt with today as well. The eldest sister snorted coldly. Since you've atoned for your mistake with merit, I'll spare you this time. If you fail again. The eldest sister's tone was profound, the threat unmistakable. The Prince of Ping quite admired the ruthless side of the eldest sister. Having watched enough of the show, he flicked a pill onto the ground, pulling the eldest sister into his embrace. He laughed and said, "US methods are swift and decisive. Skilled at discerning people's hearts, truly the bearing of a queen." The eldest sister coquettishly chided, "My lord always enjoys teasing this humble concubine." I scrambled to swallow the pill, feigning a few convulsions before rising to my feet, as I committed more and more unspeakable deeds for Prince Ping. His rebellious intentions gradually became apparent to us all. After seeing Prince Ping off and dismissing the servants, I followed the eldest sister back to her chamber. "How is he?" Eldest sister didn't specify who he was, but I knew she meant that spy who escaped a few days ago, Jiyu Changye. Jiyu Changye was the eldest son of Chief Minister Gu's family, betrothed to eldest sister and truly the man she loved. A few days ago, after recognizing him among the arriving spies, I let him go. I picked up the teapot on the table and drained it in one gulp. Putting on a show of feigned suffering is utterly exhausting. He asked you to gather evidence of Prince Ping's rebellion. He will surely present the evidence before the emperor to clear father's name. Glancing at my elder sister's expression, I continued, "And to free you from this living hell sooner." The elder sister was taken aback for a moment and said, "The sea of bitterness." He's truly naive. This sea of bitterness is one I willingly wade into. The elder sister's eyes flickered, turning sharp. The emperor poisoned father in prison to protect his own son. Worried about Jingju, he sent spies repeatedly, all of whom died here. The secret decree also explicitly stated not to harm Prince Ping. If evidence could make the emperor kill his own son, my father wouldn't have died unjustly. I hesitated and said, "The Jiyu family has been utterly loyal to the old emperor. If we insist on supporting Prince Ping without presenting evidence of his crimes, Jiyu Changye will surely become a threat. How can personal affections compare to the stability of the nation?" But Jiyu Changye is elder sister's beloved. Whether to kill him or not, we must still hear her opinion. The eldest sister closed her eyes, her lashes trembling slightly. "Ah Yin, I will persuade him. Today is Qingming festival. I told Prince Ping this morning that I would go to the temple tonight to perform rites for our deceased family members. He has already agreed." The eldest sister pulled out a golden hairpin and twisted it slightly, shaking out a few pills from inside. This medicine was originally prepared for Prince Ping, but now it seems fitting to use it on Brother Changye. I remained silent, but my heart was wrenched with pain. Behind me, the candlelight in the meditation room flickered to the creaking rhythm of the wooden bed. I covered my little sister's ears, my eyes stinging with unshed tears. My little sister muttered gloomily, "To avenge father." Eldest sister offered herself to the enemy. Second sister ruined her face. Only I can do nothing, now. Young Master Jiyu will surely hate eldest sister when he comes to his senses. I gazed at Jingju City at the foot of the mountain and murmured, there's no turning back once the arrow leaves the bow. Your usefulness lies ahead, there's no need to rush. As dawn broke, eldest sister emerged from the meditation room. Her face flushed but her voice thick with sorrow. Ah Yin, escort him to safety. Elder sister rubbed her belly, gazing at the fishbelly white of dawn on the horizon, and murmured, in a month's time, the Jiyu family will naturally become ours. I wasn't good at comforting people, so I could only do my best to fulfill my duties. Don't worry, the uncles at Red Lotus Tower are all sworn brothers who once followed father onto the battlefield. Nothing will happen on the road. After the Great Rong era ended without war, they couldn't stand the court's corruption and feigned death to reinvent themselves as the Red Lotus Tower, rob the rich to aid the poor, and slay corrupt officials. During this period, they were scattered throughout Darong, acting on the orders I received from the prince. Corrupt officials were killed, while honest ones went into hiding. Even one of the physicians who treated my elder sister that day was a member of the Red Lotus Tower. I won't entrust eldest sister's life to anyone else. With one last glance at the meditation room, eldest sister turned and walked away. More and more spies were being sent from the capital, and more were dying. The emperor was furious and finally issued an imperial edict reprimanding Prince Ping. King Ping tore the imperial edict to shreds and slit the eunuch's throat with a single stroke of his sword. Back then, fearing my maternal grandfather's influence, he uprooted our entire family and forced my mother to take her own life in the palace hall. He claimed to love my mother most dearly, yet never showed her an ounce of mercy. How dare he reprimand me? The eldest sister, seeing this, handed a teacup to Prince Ping. Your Highness, calm your anger. He is the son of heaven. What do your grievances matter compared to maintaining the balance of the court? More than a lover, more than a son, that position is what he values most. Prince Ping angrily said, that old fool has been sending waves of spies every few days since the new year began. The capital is now likely as impregnable as a fortress, and my plans may well come to nothing. The elder sister shook her head with a smile and said, I have a plan that might help your highness. The capital is as solid as a fortress. Your highness's army would be crushed by the local garrisons along the way before even reaching the capital. Your highness could send people disguised into the capital every day, advancing gradually. In 5 months, it will be the emperor's birthday celebration. By then, the wine, fruits, and vegetables in the palace. The elder sister followed the younger sister's advice, stopping just at the right point. But the Prince of Ping understood the underlying meaning and drew the elder sister into his embrace, exclaiming joyfully, with you alone, you are worth 1,000 troops. The elder sister blushed and said, Your Highness always teases me. How could I possibly have such ability? The Prince of Ping gazed at the elder sister's shy, alluring expression, his eyes growing increasingly filled with desire. He scooped the eldest sister into his arms and carried her toward the bedroom. The eldest sister lightly pounded the prince's chest, cooing, My lord, this humble wife can no longer serve you. The prince was baffled, blushing. The eldest sister whispered, I'm with child. King Ping was overjoyed and gently set down his eldest sister. Excitedly, he declared, This is my first child, my eldest son. No, I want him to be the legitimate heir, become my royal consort. The heavy stone weighing on my heart finally dissipated at this moment. Though the eldest sister enjoyed favor, her lack of official status greatly hindered the advancement of future plans. The position of royal consort finally schemed into grasp. The eldest sister nestled in Prince Ping's arms, locking eyes with me, her unspoken expectations clear as day. Suddenly, the prince's personal guard hurried in. Your Highness, Lady Ju has been found. My eldest sister and I paused, our excited gazes faltering slightly. In my past life, the general who greeted Mother at the foot of Qingshan Temple was also this very guard. He addressed Mother as Madam Ju. A wave of uneasy intuition surged in my heart. Prince Ping exclaimed joyfully, We've found Ronga. Seeing this, the eldest sister immediately clung to Prince Ping's arm and coquettishly said, Ronga, is she the new beauty your highness has found? It seems my lord has grown tired of me. Prince Ping, who had been about to step forward, paused and anxiously reassured her, Roma was the only one who stayed by my side during my despondent youth. Now you are my beloved consort, carrying my legitimate heir in your womb. Roma could never shake your position." The eldest sister turned away, pretending to be jealous. "So this is the one the servants say has kept your highness pining all these years." But the eldest sister suddenly changed her tone, glancing at the guard and feigning hesitation as she asked, "Why do you call her Madame Ju?" Upon hearing this, Prince Ping's expression darkened. He turned to the guard who had served him for many years and said with an imposing authority, "Roma has served that scoundrel Ju Yunxie for over a decade on my behalf. The title Madame Ju is an insult to her." The guard broke into a cold sweat and immediately dropped to his knees with a thud. Prince Ping waved his hand and summoned 2 men, "Drag him away and beat him to death with clubs." My expression turned grave, and elder sister's face also darkened. In our past life, the personal guard humiliated us, leading to our deaths. In this life, dealing with him would be as easy as crushing an ant. But elder sister's action wasn't just about avenging our past life. More importantly, it was to test how much weight our mother carried in Prince Ping's heart. The eldest sister quickly thought of a solution and said understandingly, "Your Highness and Sister Rona share such deep affection. I fear Sister Rona would be heartbroken if she learned of my existence. Your Highness and Sister Rona have finally reunited after so much hardship. Please don't let my presence cause any rift between you." Prince Ping suppressed his anger and looked at the eldest sister with tender eyes. "You're right, Rona is prone to jealousy. She must never know of your existence. I can only ask you to endure this hardship for now." The eldest sister smiled. "It's no hardship. As long as your Highness is happy and gets what he desires, that is enough for me." King Ping said slowly, "Then I'll go see her. You rest well and take care of the pregnancy." The eldest sister watched King Ping leave and sighed. Without a penny to her name, she actually survived the winter without freezing or starving to death. "Mother truly has 9 lives, I worriedly said. "King Ping is deeply devoted to her. I fear the position of royal consort may be in jeopardy." The eldest sister gave a cold smile and said, "It won't be a problem. She's too old to bear children. The consort of Prince Ping, the future empress, cannot be without heirs." The eldest sister looked at me, her indifferent eyes showing a hint of expectation. "Ah Yin, how is brother Changye doing?" I lowered my voice and replied, "After learning that you've been secretly taking contraceptive soup while with Prince Ping, he believed the child in your womb is his. He's already set off back to the capital. Even if Chief Minister Jiyu can't join our side, he likely won't stand with the emperor either." I looked at my elder sister's belly and couldn't help asking curiously, "Whose child is this after all?" My elder sister said softly, "That's not important. As long as it can restrain Prince Ping's heart and placate the Jiyu family, it's enough. This matter is tricky. We still need to find Xiaoye to come up with a solution. Our wooden heads are useless." My elder sister rested peacefully for her pregnancy, staying behind closed doors all day, but the news still leaked out through the gossipers in Prince Ping's mansion. Hidden in the shadows, I saw that imposing figure arrive at Yu Courtyard, swiftly heading toward the prince's study. "Your Highness, Miss Rong and Miss Yu are fighting in Yu Courtyard. Miss Yu is currently with child. I fear." Before I could finish speaking, Prince Ping had already strode out of the study. I followed closely behind him, and as soon as we arrived at the Jade Courtyard, I saw eldest sister lying on the ground with both cheeks swollen and red. Her once breathtaking beauty was nowhere to be seen. Clutching her stomach, she sobbed hoarsely, "Even if sister dislikes me, I still carry the prince's child in my womb. Sister loves the prince, but does she not love his child? Mother," with her back turned to me and the Prince of Ping, raged, "Only I am worthy of bearing Ping Lang's child. You lowly wretches, for everyone you conceive, I, the princess consort, will destroy one." Seizing the moment, I quietly slipped behind a rose bush, hiding my face. King Ping angrily said, "Shu Wanrong, can't you even tolerate my child?" Mother was startled and turned to look. King Ping walked straight past Mother, helped eldest sister up, and said furiously, "Yua has been shutting herself indoors all day while pregnant just to avoid upsetting you, and still you're not satisfied. Not only did you try to kill my child, but you also wanted to beat Yua to death. With such a venomous heart that can't tolerate others, are you even fit to be a princess consort, let alone the future empress?" Mother was stunned and said, "Ping Lang, I didn't hit her. She was already like this when I saw her." King Ping laughed in extreme anger. "Still dare to quibble? Could it be that Yua hit herself?" Mother's expression was filled with grief and disbelief. "Ping Lang, you don't believe me. For you, I married beneath my station, toiled tirelessly for over a decade, endured endless hardships, and now you scold me for some lowly woman. You once said, 'You are the prince, I am the princess consort, and one day when you ascend the throne, I would be the empress.' Yet you had a child with another. It was you who betrayed me first." King Ping narrowed his eyes slightly, a dangerous and merciless glint brewing in their depths. I hid behind the rose bushes to watch the drama unfold. Everything unfolded exactly as little sister had anticipated. Those in high positions can least tolerate being accused or threatened by others, even if that person happens to be the unattainable love of their life for many years. King Ping said coldly, "Shu Wanrong, you've served another man for over a decade, yet I still allow you into my bed. I've already shown you more than enough kindness. Since you remain unsatisfied, from now on, the Rome courtyard shall be your cold palace." Mother stared at King Ping in shock, struggling to grasp his sleeve as she pleaded, "Ping Lang, how can you be so cruel to me?" With a frosty expression, King Ping shook off her hand and carried eldest sister into the house. The well-orchestrated drama by younger sister had come to an end. I emerged from behind the rose bushes and, seeing Mother's heartbroken expression, whispered softly, "Mother, let's go, it's you." Mother's pupils trembled violently as she cried out in anguish. No wonder I thought that little wretch looked familiar. With a swift motion, I sealed her mute acupoint with a single finger tap, dragging her towards the Rome courtyard. Mother looked at the dagger father had given me at my waist, shrinking into the corner as she stared at me in terror. I smiled and said, "Don't worry, I won't kill you." I pinched her chin and spoke word by word, "We will help your Ping Lang ascend to the supreme throne. And eldest sister will sit in the position you most desire for you. We want you to watch helplessly as everything that should have been yours remains within reach yet forever beyond your grasp." Mother shook her head violently, her expression horrified as she cried, "No, how do you know these things? How do you know about my affair with Ping Lang? Do you also know about your father's death?" I leaned close and whispered that unbelievable truth into her ear. Upon hearing it, Mother burst into wild, hysterical laughter. "You expect me to believe such an outlandish fairy tale?" she mocked. Mission accomplished. Without another glance at her, I turned and walked away. The next day, as I was applying medicine to eldest sister's face, a maidservant came in to report, "The lady from the Rome courtyard has gone mad. All day long she shouts at the wall corner that Miss Yu and Guard Yin are her daughters, claiming you've returned from the dead." The eldest sister's voice was cool as she asked, "What did His Highness say?" The maidservant replied truthfully, "His Highness said these claims were utterly absurd and didn't take them seriously." The eldest sister waved her hand, dismissing the maidservant. Xiaoye predicted His Highness wouldn't believe Mother's words. Resurrection from death is preposterous talk. If we're truly her daughters, why didn't she say so when facing His Highness at Yu Manor? "Xiao Yu really leaves nothing to chance." I nodded and said, "It's just hard on you. You've never been able to stomach yam since childhood. Yet this time you had to eat so much, and then I slapped you twice with all my strength. It'll probably take 10 days to half a month for that swelling to go down." Eldest sister looked at me in the mirror and teased, "Don't think I don't know. You've wanted to give me a beating back at the manor for a long time, haven't you?" I stayed silent. Because I really had. The summer heat sapped eldest sister's appetite, her belly swelling high while her frame grew gaunt by the day. Prince Ping visited daily to dine with her, yet her appetite dwindled further with each passing meal. The late emperor's birthday banquet approaches in half a month. We must journey to the capital soon. Gazing at eldest sister's pallid face, Prince Ping fretted, "The road's hardships will weary my beloved consort sorely." The elder sister smiled understandingly. "Yua doesn't find it hard, but now that your highness mentioned it, the little one in my belly seems to have heard and is making quite a fuss inside me." King Ping laughed and said, "My child must be cheering for me, celebrating my triumphant victory." King Ping, drawing all eyes, hid outside the city while I escorted our eldest sister in disguise into the capital. Our youngest sister had been waiting for us at the prearranged tavern since early morning. Upon seeing us, She immediately came forward to support our eldest sister by the arm. Eldest sister, was the journey too much for you? The eldest sister rarely relaxed her expression and said, as long as that dog of a Prince Ping isn't here, both my body and mind feel incredibly at ease. The door behind the youngest sister opened, and a tall, handsome young man stood at the threshold, saying, even AU has learned to curse. It seems you've truly suffered a lot of grievances. I glanced around and whispered, too many eyes and ears here, let's talk inside. Jiu Changya crouched in front of the eldest sister, his hand repeatedly caressing her belly as if he couldn't get enough of it. I envy that scoundrel. How dare he get to touch my son every single day? My younger sister and I turned our heads away. We absolutely detest watching these kinds of lovey-dovey scenes. Eldest sister comforted her, saying, don't worry, everything will be over soon. Yin and Xiao, you are still here. Let's discuss serious matters first. The emperor's birthday was celebrated nationwide, and everyone in the palace could toast with a cup of celebratory wine. An hour later, the entire palace staff collapsed weakly to the ground. Prince Ping led 10,000 soldiers who had been secretly stationed in the capital for the past 6 months, along with his planted agents among the imperial guards, working from within and without. They fought their way to the imperial garden where the emperor was holding his birthday banquet. Chaos engulfed the palace, and rivers of blood flowed through the night. Nobles and royals, countless dead and wounded. The next day, Prince Ping ascended the throne with the emperor's abdication edict in hand. I escorted my elder sister into the imperial palace. Prince Ping's private army from Jingju intercepted all forces coming to rescue the old emperor. A month later, the old emperor died suddenly. The eldest sister became the mistress of the imperial harem. Her first act was to select concubines for the new emperor. The new emperor patted the eldest sister's hand and sighed. If not for the empress's excellent household management in the princely estate, earning enough silver to purchase ample quantities of the 10 fragrances soft tendon powder, this imperial throne would not have been so easily obtained. In my heart, there is only you, though there are 3,000 weak waters. I shall take but one ladleful.
Night after night, I watched as the emperor staggered with unsteady steps, his eyes sunken deep, while I lowered my head, desperately suppressing the faint curl at the corners of my mouth. My eldest sister was still earnestly admonishing the emperor, Your Majesty. Indulging in beauty, where does that leave the court and the realm? The emperor flew into a rage and said, just an orphan girl. I granted you the position of empress, and now you dare to dictate to me. The emperor stormed off in a huff. The eldest sister shouted, for the sake of the imperial health, Your Majesty must exercise restraint. The emperor turned to the audacious eldest sister and decreed, the empress has spoken disrespectfully and defied the imperial authority. She is confined to the palace and may not leave unless summoned. Only when the figures had disappeared did I speak up. Addiction, how can one possibly restrain it? The eldest sister let out a sigh and asked, is the child ready? I immediately straightened my expression and said, the child of a battlefield soldier. The soldier died in combat a few months ago, and the mother passed away last night from a difficult labor. It's a baby boy, convincing enough to pass as the real thing. The elder sister nodded and drank the labor-inducing medicine on the table. For a woman in childbirth, life and death hang by a thread. In the dead of night, a loud cry of a newborn echoed through the room. The elder sister's face was pale as she gazed weakly at the newborn child. He didn't cry. I lowered my eyelids, hiding the moisture in my eyes. Though I'd known the outcome all along, I still couldn't bring myself to say it. The elder sister laughed self-deprecatingly. I forgot, this pregnancy was drug-induced to begin with. Of course it would be a stillbirth, I choked out. There's crying coming from the empress's palace. The eldest sister murmured, burn him. Make sure it's done thoroughly. Just a few days after the crown prince's first-month celebration, the emperor suddenly fell from the dragon throne during morning court and died on the spot. The imperial physician diagnosed that internal depletion and lack of proper rest at night had caused exhaustion, leading to the fall from the dragon throne. The chief grand secretary stepped forward to stabilize the court, supporting the eldest prince as crown prince. State affairs were temporarily decided through joint deliberation by several esteemed ministers and the Empress Dowager. All was settled. I requested permission from my elder sister to be stationed at the frontier. She granted it. I put on my mask and escorted the Persian beauty to the northern lands, thanking her as we parted. The exotic fragrance she carried, mingled with ambergris, was a deadly poison that disrupted the body's vital energies. The Persian beauty smiled and said, "I should thank you as well for giving me this chance to exact revenge. Years ago, my parents traveled to Jingju for trade, only to be murdered and robbed by Prince Ping. I never thought I'd live to see this day. How unpredictable fate can be." I sighed in agreement. Indeed, how unpredictable fate can be. Therefore, I must secure a place in the military camp. In my third year at the camp, I received a letter from my eldest sister, "Dear Ayin, I hope you're well. The national decree I strongly advocated for, allowing women to take imperial examinations, has been implemented. Next spring, Xiao Yu will also enter the examination hall. With her knowledge, she certainly won't be inferior to those men." In my 5th year at the camp, I received a letter from Xiao Yu. "Greetings, second sister. I've become an official in the imperial court now, and the feeling of serving the people every day is truly wonderful. I'm so happy." Eldest sister says she's happy too. Though she can't be with Jiyu Changya openly, she's won both his heart and his person in the end. The only hardship falls on me, having to cover for them. I burned the letter. After 5 years at the border, my martial skills have surpassed what they once were, and I've also gathered a loyal band of soldiers under my command. Once, I dreamed of being a chivalrous hero roaming the land. Now, I defend our homeland and protect our nation. The eldest sister wished to marry a handsome gentleman. Though she couldn't wed him in the end, she did obtain that handsome gentleman after all. The youngest sister dreamed of becoming a schoolmistress, teaching women to read and write, to distinguish right from wrong. Now she stands in the imperial court, discerning the rights and wrongs of the realm. In a way, we've all realized our dreams and are living the lives we once yearned for. In this process, we've killed our kin and vanquished our foes. At last, 5 years later, a new emperor ascended the throne and changed the reign title to Great Jew.